Hold on guys, we've got more drama for Black Ops 6. This is what I live for. Whenever there's something going down, I'm going to be there. Best believe it. I need it. I live for it. Just give me entertainment. And well, it seems like that's exactly what we've got, because an ex-Call of Duty developer has put out a tweet over on Twitter kind of hitting out at Treyarch and specifically Black Ops 6 over it being nominated at the Game Awards for Best Audio Design, Best Multiplayer Game, Best Action Game, and Innovation in Accessibility. Now, okay, let's go through these. Best Audio Design. I haven't played too many games this year. Playing zombies on multiplayer is pretty difficult to tell, but the sound design in the campaign is pretty good, so I can't really disagree with it being nominated for that. Best Multiplayer Game. No. Or is it? Again, what other MP games this year have released that are better than this, or that should take its spot from being nominated? That doesn't mean it should win, but have there been many other MP games that have released this year that should deserve this spot over Black Ops 6? I'm not sure. Best Action Game, you know what? The campaign's good, so sure, and Innovation in Accessibility. And this is the one that seems to have triggered an ex-COD developer, because they replied to this saying Innovation in Accessibility because it has an option to turn off spiders in a zombies mode, creating a safe space for people with arachnophobia. Rad. Now, just in case you couldn't tell, this is sarcasm. I wasn't sure who this person was, but just checking out their profile, he is a now retired 27-year game vet who was the project director for Infinite Warfare Zombies, Extinction, Guitar Hero, Tony Hawk, Kelly Slater, and I assume more. But clearly, considering he worked on Infinite Warfare Zombies and Extinction, he worked at Infinity Wood. He would essentially be the Treyarch Zombies developer or project director of Infinity Wood, which is kind of strange seeing a comment like this, because you would think all three of the main COD devs, Treyarch, Sledgehammer, and Infinity Wood, especially the third mode developers, so the Zombies team for Treyarch, the Zombies team and Extinction team for Infinite Warfare, or the Survival and Spec Ops team, and the Zombies team for Sledgehammer, you would think all three of those would be pretty tight and close-knitted together. Even though they work at different studios, they all work on the third mode for COD. So they would kind of have this special relationship together. That's what I've heard in the past. We all know Jason Blundell, the Treyarch Zombies director, Lee Ross, the Infinite Warfare Zombies director, and I think it was Cameron Drayton who worked on Sledgehammer Zombies, were quite close. I thought it would be the same across the board, that they all have respect for one another, they all understand the passion and what it takes to create a third mode for Call of Duty, trying to compete with the campaign, the multiplayer, and Warzone now. So to see a comment like this from a previous COD Zombies developer from Infinity Ward, kind of backhanding the reasons why Treyarch's game Black Ops 6 has been nominated for Game of the Year, specifically focusing on their innovations with accessibility and being able to turn on arachnophobia mode in zombies, is a little bit weird. I don't know, it's just not something I would ever really expect. I don't think we've seen anything like this before. I don't think I've ever seen any ex-Call of Duty developer ever criticize other developers, or he hasn't specifically done that, but shit on something that other developers have worked on. I've seen comments from ex-devs exposing inside secrets and how game development works and things that perhaps they could have done better, but nothing like this, which is why it's not crazy that's overreacting. Is it a bad comment? Not really. Who cares? I guess he's entitled to his own opinion. But was it needed? Probably not. And is it even valid? Does Black Ops 6 deserve to be nominated for innovations in accessibility? Obviously, being able to turn off spiders and zombies isn't the only feature it has. That's not the only reason it's being nominated. I think BO6 has quite a few accessibility features, to be honest, compared to other Call of Duties. There are loads of different settings you can change. Asymmetrical hearing compensation. There is a customizable high contrast setting, intelligent movement, loads of different HUD presets where you can change the color of things, which really helps if you're colorblind. The arachnophobia setting, which is where you turn spiders into sperm. The new pause and save feature in zombies, which is super useful. That counts. That's never been in a COD before. Not forgetting that you can completely turn off your HUD or change things around. Another really cool accessibility feature. I actually think compared to any other Call of Duty, and a lot of other video games don't do this, accessibility for Black Ops 6 is one thing I really can't argue against. I could say it shouldn't be nominated for Best Multiplayer Game, or it shouldn't be nominated for Best Action Game, but I do actually think it should be nominated for Innovation in Accessibility. Whether this ex-COD dev is just hating for the sake of it, I don't know. You could question, okay, is arachnophobia mode even needed? Is it necessary? Is anyone truly scared of spiders in a video game to the point where they're not going to play Black Ops 6 if they don't have the option to remove it? I very much doubt that. Then again, it's hard for me to comprehend that you would be scared of spiders on a screen anyway, whether it be in a movie or video game. Real life, fair enough, me too. But in a video game, well, I guess it doesn't hurt to have the option. It's just never been a complaint I've ever seen before. To be fair, he did say that the adjustable HUD layouts are cool, but is not really accessibility, and everything else is just average. But isn't that the point of accessibility features? They're not supposed to make you say, wow, look what they've added into the game. These are just subtle features that are there for the couple of people that may want to use them, just to make sure that everybody, 100% of the players, are happy, because 99% of the accessibility features are only for 1% of the players. Most of these things they didn't have to add in the game, and it wouldn't really change anything, but for those 1%, it'd be even lower than that needs these accessibility features to play, well, it doesn't hurt anyone. But yeah, I just thought some of the replies to this were pretty interesting. Someone said about the arachnophobia mode, it's creating a space for people to never acknowledge or overcome their fears. Even in a completely fictional fantasy setting, why are we saying it's okay to be scared of TV spiders? Somebody else replied, spiders presented such a great danger to humans during the early evolutionary stages that a fear of the species became part of our DNA. Same occurrence with snakes and rodents, and the nighttime/dark time as a whole, due to the threat of tigers, bears, wolves, etc. And Brian, the ex-COD dev, replied, yes, so we should have had a hide rat option on Shaolin Shuffle, which was one of the Infinite Warfare Zombies maps that he made. Surely no one's scared of a rat in a video game though, but has he got a point there? And then he kind of went off the rails and replied back to him again. I assume it was the same person, but he said regarding the Shaolin Shuffle map, likely because it was paid DLC and your broadcast had no money. Yeah, he went too far with that one. And then someone replied back to that regarding Shaolin and said, no, you should have just had a hide map option because that shit was ass. Someone else said to him, wow, the fall off is insane. From working on some great games to whining about accessibility features. Congrats, man. You know what? It's just entertaining. I'm honestly not bothered. These accessibility features aren't for me, but I do know, like I said, there's 0.1% of players out there who do need them, or it would help them out. So to have them in the game, it doesn't hurt anyone because it doesn't affect the overall gameplay. If you want to turn it on, you can. If you don't, then don't. And like you mentioned, there are actually some really good accessibility features in Black Ops 6. So out of everything it's been nominated for, that's the one I would push. And just before I go, because it's so small that there's no point doing a separate video on it, Treyarch have done 2 small updates to zombies over the past day. Nothing major, and there are a few things in this game that do need fixing. 2 major issues, in my opinion, that Treyarch definitely know about, because these are some of the biggest complaints in the community, but they have not fix them, and I think there's a reason for that, which I might cover in a separate video. But anyway, on screen now you can see all of the fixes they've done, but the 2 things that remain for me which make BO6 Zombies a less enjoyable experience are the length of the vermin rounds and the parasites. When you get to about round 25, it feels like they just go on for way too long. It feels like a minute or 2 to the point where it's just boring and a drag. And the other big issue is still the amount of manglers that spawn in around then as well. Round 30, round 35. For me, it makes this mode not worth playing past that round, which shouldn't be the case. Treyarch would have heard all the complaints, so I think there's an intentional reason why they're not changing it, besides from difficulty. There is something else going on there. But yeah, the shit's funny, man. So there we go. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Drop a like rating if you've enjoyed. Do you think this comment is valid? Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thank you guys for over 701,000 subscribers, and I will see you in the next video. Until then, goodbye.